дайте пацанам считать потери. Суммы нули погибают на сцене. Снова один, прогуляюсь в пустыне. Заливаю лик, поцелуй на шее. Капли дома, правда назад, черный каскад. Вижу твой взгляд.
Welcome to the Diski Den. Welcome to episode 8. So glad you guys joined us. I'm going to be your host for today's episode. My name's Nino Asher, and I'm joined by our co-host, Abo, Liverpool supporter. You'll never walk alone. I'm sure there's tons of things we want to get into. You know, it's been an interesting season. The season's almost come to an end. The top four has been settled. You know, we have our Premier League winners. We got to talk about it. Guys, as you can see, we are recording the Diski Dens from different studios. You know, we outside. We thought maybe change things up, add some spice to today's episode. So tell me, Albo, how do you feel about Manchester City being crowned as Premier League champions? You know, it's something. You know, it's something we've had some time to grasp, because it was looking like City was going to be winning this league for a long time. But, you know, it's now official. They're officially the champions. What do you think of their current season? What do you think of their journey to the trophy? Well, would you say this was the memorable win?
Nah. The thing about Man City is that they are what I would refer to as a default champion team. Every league has a default champion team. Bundesliga is Bayern Munich. France has got Paris Saint-Germain. Sometimes there will be surprises, but there's a team that is like a default team, and I think right now I can not proudly, damn, that's the wrong word. That's the opposite of proudly saying that Man City is the Premier League's default team. I thought about this a couple of years ago, like, yo, is this team gonna dominate us? Is this team actually gonna dominate? Bro, 5 leagues in the past. They've won half the decade, if not more than half the decade. It's not good. For the past 4 seasons, they've won 3 times. 3 out of 4 times. It's not good, bro. It's not good. And I think it doesn't look like next season there's a team that will challenge them again. So yes, they should be proud of themselves. It's a big achievement for them because it gives them another league. They're building still. This is a 7th league. It's getting uncomfortable for the Chelsea boys, for the Arsenal boys. It's getting uncomfortable. Man United and Liverpool can still relax. They're still quite far away, but it's getting close for the other boys right behind. Man City in the next 10 years can overtake Arsenal and Chelsea in league. So as much as people are comfortable with Man City winning, I want those teams to think about that y'all could be next.
You know, it is kind of crazy. I remember Manchester City's first win in 40 years, I think. It felt like it was just yesterday. And here they are, just stockpiling these trophies, you know. I actually wanted you to explain that default championship team, and I think you did a pretty good job with it, you know. But when you mentioned PSG, my eyes just, you know, opened up, because Lily is doing the things there in France, but we'll talk about that later. You know, this season, I want to say personally, as a supporter of football, this season was weird for me. This season was weird. Everything went the way I thought it would. I think this season for me lacked excitement. So it's hard for me to actually celebrate City's win. Yes, I am a Leeds supporter. Obviously, I wasn't thinking Leeds was going to win. I had my own goals, my own ambitions for my club, you know, making top table. But I knew that Manchester City were going to win from game week 1, you know, and when they started running away with the league, that kind of took some of the excitement away from the Premier League, because the one thing I'd hate to watch, I would hate to watch Manchester City turn the Premier League into a farmers league. You know, I would hate to watch that. It would actually make me want to see something like the Super League. But that's a dead conversation. Let's leave that Super League. But if Manchester City end up like dominating this thing, it's gonna be a tough couple of years, because, you know, even on social media there aren't that many Manchester City fans. I'm not seeing a lot of celebration. They're achieving a lot, but when it comes to the banter, I'm not feeling the sting. I'm not feeling the pressure. I'm just watching something happen, as opposed to like experiencing it. So, guys, we need Manchester City fans out there. We need y'all. We need y'all to make a noise for City, for these achievements to hold any weight. You know?
I'm curious to see how the celebration will go when, for example, if Chelsea won the FA Cup, and then compare that to the atmosphere right now, because you wouldn't say that a team's just being crowned champions. You know, it's quite weird. But yeah, Man City doesn't have that many fans, and this season, I don't want to say it's been weird for me too, and I don't want to say it's a write-off, but the fact that there weren't any fans in the stands the entire season, I never found anything. I thought I was going to get used to it. I won't lie to you. I really thought I was going to get used to it. I thought, you know what, maybe this is the future of how we view football. No fans, just the game going. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Man City played Chelsea, right? Man City lost to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Man United played Aston Villa, and Man City beat Aston Villa. At that point, Man United was 7 points behind Man City, and there was 3 games left. Now, any other time, I know Man City clearly is winning, but any other time, there would be a buzz of, can Man United possibly get something out of this? Is it possible? Because Man City just lost to Chelsea, Man United won another game, 7 points, 3 games, that's 9 points. So that means there's 2 points there that Man United can get. If Man City lose all their games, and it's just 3 games, it's not a lot of games, and Man United win all their games, Man United are champions. But that wasn't even discussed. I'm not trying to say discuss it, but in any other season, there would at least be someone mentioning the fact that Man United are still in a title race, technically, and there's only 3 games left. It actually reminds me of when Liverpool was 7 points ahead of Man City at the end of the season during the Gerrard snap. We drew at Crystal Palace, we lost at Chelsea, and I think we lost to, I think it was West Brom. Those are 3 games that we lost to at Man City win the league. And there was a buzz that can Liverpool, especially when we lost against Crystal Palace, can Liverpool mess this up? Is it possible that none of that was here? And I guess because maybe Man City is so good, but at the same time, a part of that is football, that people just wish upon a star, and none of that happened. So it just reiterated to me that no one really cared that much about the season. Man City won, no one cared. It's like
props to Manchester City, man, because they're doing something right as a club, and not just the first team, the men's first team, because I think the women's team also won the league, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, do double check, but I think the women's team won the women's division, and
Chelsea.
I think they under 18s.
It could have been Chelsea that won. The women's.
You think it was Chelsea?
Yeah, women's Chelsea team, I think.
We'll check it, but one thing I did see is that even the youngsters won. You know, the under 18 team, under 16 team. So, as a club, whatever that they're doing, whatever philosophy is that Pep has brought with him, is transforming the club, because they're shooting on all fronts. I mean, we're still talking about the Premier League. These guys are still going to play an FA Cup final and play the UEFA Champions League final, so there's some more football to be played. And our conversation could change. They could lose both those games, or they could win both of them, and that severely changes the conversation in any scenario.
Yeah.
So I'm still excited to see what City bring, and how they're going to deal with playing Chelsea 3 times. They've played them once already. They got 2 more games. I'm keen to see. I normally hate watching clubs play each other a lot of times before a final, when the fixtures work themselves out like that. I don't normally like watching finalists play twice, but I'm gonna view this as a mind game. I'm gonna see what these managers bring, because in the previous match when City and Chelsea were playing, those lineups were wild, and those formations were wild. So I'm keen to see that type of mind, those type of mind games. So aside from Man City, how do you feel about the top 4 in general?
Some Liverpool fans still have faith. I've lost faith, to be honest with you. I'm looking at Europa. Like I said last season, last time we talked about Liverpool. This Europa is going to be a visit. We're going to visit Europa next season. Hey, gents, can we get the trophy quick? Don't worry, just grab the trophy and fuck off. So that's all I'm seeing next season. The top 4 is. I really hope. Well, Leicester are in it after they win against what was it? Man United. Just now, so Leicester in it. Man United were always in it. I don't think Man United were going to get out, and I think Chelsea's going to keep its place. That's the top 4. That's what's going to happen, and it's a good top 4. I'm happy for Brendan Rodgers, because Brendan Rodgers last season was supposed to get top 4, and then he crashed out embarrassingly. And some people were talking about the Gerrard slip, wondering if he's one of those managers that are. But now he's at an FA Cup final and he's going to get top 4. There should be conversations about him getting manager of the season. If I'm being completely honest, if he gets that top 4 and he wins the FA Cup against Chelsea, there should be conversation about him getting manager of the season. So I'm happy for him, because I've always liked him as Liverpool manager. But yeah, that's my top 4. That's my top 4. Chelsea, Leicester, and Man United. And of course, the champions, Man City.
Dope. I'm proud of Brendan Rodgers. I actually made a mistake saying Manchester City were in the final. My bad. They were kicked out. They were kicked out by Chelsea. My bad. I apologize for that. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of Brendan Rodgers. Watching him work with Leicester and actually proving to England that Leicester are a really decent team. I think a lot of people thought by now Leicester would have fallen off. They lost their big players. They have premium players there. They have premium players in that team, but so do the other clubs. So it does go to show that a manager can make all the difference. Not just any manager, a really experienced one. And Brendan Rodgers is really experienced in the Premier League, and man, he's doing wonders with Leicester. To be honest with you, I thought Leicester by now would have been mid-table, back to normal. I thought things would have been back to normal by now when it comes to Leicester City, the club itself. Props to him.
Now,
is there any surprise?
Yeah. I was about to say, now it's time to talk about the disappointments. There's a team that purports itself to be gunning, a armor-driven team. They call themselves the Gunners. This is a team called Arsenal, and I was wondering if we can have a memorial analysis, recapping the death of this team that once called itself a top four team, that once called itself one of the biggest teams in England, that is about to be usurped as the biggest team in London. Because I think as soon as Chelsea gets the second UEFA, it's over. You can't even be the London boys anymore. So
That
the
is,
death of
that is
Arsenal
true.
is occurring. And I would like for us to kind of discuss next season.
Man. I don't even know where to start with Arsenal. You know, I know diehard Gooner fans are gonna tell you that they've got the bragging rights against Chelsea. You know, they did beat Chelsea twice this season. They did the double for the first time since like 2003 or 2004. It's been a very long time. But given the scope of the season, their season has been disastrous, man. Mikel Arteta has... I don't know what Mikel is doing. I don't know what he's doing with that team. And it's quite sad, actually. It's quite sad because I remember just a few seasons ago, people really thought that Arsene Wenger was the downfall of Arsenal, and that man was making top four with worse teams, bro. He was making top four with players like Shamak, you know, strikers like that, forgettable players. He was. Do you even know what philosophy Michael Arteta is bringing to Arsenal?
You know, Mikel Arteta.
Should we start with his transfers or his philosophies? Because just scrutinizing Arsenal, man.
Actually,
man.
let's start.
Sorry,
Let's start from the very, very beginning.
Mm.
They signed him because of Pep Guardiola. They signed him because they thought that he was going to bring a style to Arsenal similar to Pep Guardiola, which, to be fair, is similar to the old Arsenal. Tiki-taka, a short passing, you know, position attacking football. So, right there and there, that's their first mistake. You never hire Robin to go take care of business. You hire Batman. You hire Batman. Any team that thinks they're going to get success with Robin, sidekick, what has the sidekick done? Let's be real. What has the sidekick actually done? They had options of getting, I'm pretty sure, Carlos Ancelotti, who's in the fight for top four right now of Everton. He was still available before they got Arteta. I think they even hired Bloomberg before they hired Carlo Ancelotti. They had the option of Allegri. Allegri was available, still available. They could have gotten him. They had the option of Thomas Tuchel. He was sacked from PSG at that point. He was available. Look at what he's doing at Chelsea right now. They had the option of Diego Simeone, whose contract was running out. He was fighting for a new contract at Atletico Madrid. Now he's challenging for the title. These men had options. These men had options. And the fact that they chose to go for Robin, the sidekick of Pep Guardiola, with no money, no resources that Man City have, I don't know what they were expecting. You are not Man City. So I don't know what you were expecting. The decision was preschool, grade school level decision. I don't feel sorry for them. They were stupid. I don't have any other words to describe this. They were being stupid. I knew it was a bad idea. To be fair, a lot of Arsenal fans knew it was a bad idea. And it's blown up on their face like we expected. So he's still there. They stuck with him. He won an FA Cup for them. So that's something. But it's a mess. And I don't think they're going to be able to fix it.
I was about to ask you, do you think him winning the FA Cup sort of gave him some security? Because I think any other manager in a big club like Arsenal, you know, I think he would have been sacked mid-season if he was any other manager at any other club. Do you think that FA Cup contributed to him staying, or do you think it was just his overall legacy? Why do you think he's still at Arsenal, and do you think that they're going to extend his contract and give him another transfer window? What would you do if you were in management and you were given the chance to either let him go or give him a chance? What now? Now I'm asking you this not as I'm not calling you an Arsenal hater because you're dropping facts, but put yourself in the shoes of a boardroom member at Arsenal. What would your decision making be right now?
You know, I heard somewhere that this is the lowest Arsenal's been in 30 odd years.
Mm.
They're not winning any cups this season. It's not hating. It's not hating when you say any other manager in any other team would be set. Chris Wilder achieved more than Arteta achieved in Arsenal. Because Arsenal winning an FA Cup is not as big of an achievement as any other team because they've won a couple of times. But a team like Sheffield finishing in the top 10, that's a big achievement. And they sacked him for being dismal. Arteta this season has been dismal. It hasn't been, there's no way out when it comes to evaluating his season. They gave him until the end of the season. I would have done that too if I was in management. I would have said you can finish. I wouldn't do what Tottenham did. I would have said you can finish this season, and unfortunately next season we're gonna have to let go of you and look for someone else. It's the way it is. But you can finish.
Yeah. Okay. Now all the managers that you mentioned, right? All the ones that were available are now not available. You know, your Julian Nagelsmann is going to Bayern Munich. What options does Arsenal now have?
Chris Wilder. Chris Wilder. I'm not even lying to you.
You know, you're making me remember the time when people wanted Eddie Howe for Arsenal. As you know, things are bad as soon as you mention a championship manager. Things.
I'm telling you. Bro, Arsenal are at a point right now where they need a Sam Allardyce type. We used to joke about that. They are there now. They've got no time to get a flashy manager. They've got no time to be experimental. Get someone that keeps you relevant. Listen, people are making fun of what I'm saying. Liverpool, we bought Roy Hodgson as our manager once. I think people forget that. 2009 to 2012, we had Roy Hodgson. Every team goes through these moments. I'm not being insulting. This happens to a team. We were there, Arsenal. And by the way, we had won a Champions League a couple of seasons before that. So we were even better off than you. And we got Roy Hodgson. Sometimes you gotta humble yourself and look for someone that could definitely work. And I think Chris Wilder, bro, took Sheffield from League One to the Premier League to top 10. I'm not talking about a weak guy. He did something. Yeah. And I think people have to start putting those things into consideration. We're running out of flashy managers. Chelsea just got the last one. You can go get Allegri if you want. Good luck. But I'm telling you,
And Allegri's been out the game for a while now.
I feel like Allegri is going to be like Emery. I've got the feeling that it's going to be another guy who can't speak a lot of English, who is not really in tune with the Premier League, the way football's played, the way things are. And the fans are just they're going to do an Emery. Because Emery went back to Spain and is in another Europa final. That's what Emery is doing right now. He's in Europa with Villarreal. He's in another final of Europe. He's going to win another trophy. After they let him go, he's going to go with another trophy.
Yeah.
So it's an Arsenal thing. So I think they should go get a British guy. They should go get a break. And they did this in the 90s. In the 90s, they went Graham something. He balanced Arsenal out again. And then after he did his job, they got Wenger, and Wenger did his thing. I feel like they're gonna have to do that again.
Yeah. They may have to do something to what you're saying. They may have to do something very similar. And if I would give Arsenal advice, stop buying Chelsea players. Stop doing that. Like I don't know when it became fashionable to buy older rival players. I don't know. Bro, I just saw a stat where Willian hasn't scored a goal in 36 games. It's now 37. Hasn't scored a goal. And there was so much. That guy's getting paid 100K a week, by the way. And he is an established player who's pretty much won it all. Coming to a club that's struggling, that needs to rebuild. I'd be so shocked. I would be so shocked. I think I'd actually wash my hands clean of Arsenal if they ended up going for a player like Giroud or Azpilicueta. I would be so shocked, but I would not be surprised. So to anyone who's listening, who has ties to Arsenal, just pass on the message. Tell them to leave Chelsea alone. Tell them to build their own stars. Tell them to scout properly, because the players that are coming from the Arsenal academy, I don't see them doing much. Yes, Bukayo Saka has been a standout performer. I would say he was a standout performer last year. He kind of played himself into obscurity with Arsenal this season, and now people are talking about that kid needs to leave the club to flourish, because now people are looking at your Fodens. People are looking at your Jude Bellinghams. The new generation is out there, and they doing things, and you don't want to be stuck. You don't want to be stuck in a club like Arsenal. So, your Smith Rowes, they're gonna have options. These kids are gonna have options if Arsenal continue to do so badly, and they might end up leaving the club.
Yeah.
There's something going on there where every season Arsenal has this crop of young kids that don't really. They have glimpses, of wonder kidness. They show those glimpses, but they can't carry it throughout the season. We've had this. Who's this kid? Reece Nelson. We've had Reece Nelson for years. He's been a wonder kid for years. Can't carry us. So Smith Rowe, he's been at that Arsenal development for years, but he's helped the team go for a European finish? I don't think so. We had Emilio Martinez. He was a wonder kid. He left. So we're also not. Let me not say we. Me saying we is the old me. We're just. I think Arsenal's not managing their wonder kids properly, and they're not managing the new players they buy properly, so they end up not gelling. I don't know what it is. And Aubameyang, what a dismal season for Aubameyang, man. What a dismal season. So Arsenal need to get their shit together. Otherwise, if they continue like this, they might finish lower next season. They might. Because if we're going to get used to playing football without the fans, there's no... all the mid-table teams, they start to level up in a way.
Yeah.
They start competing with the bigger teams, because you've eliminated that fan factor, the 12th man.
Yeah.
And I think these big clubs really underestimated the importance of the 12th man.
Yes.
I think they did. Yeah, we look at the home-away results. Home results are now starting to look like away results. Away results are starting to look like home results. Like, that 12th man is very important. And if Arsenal doesn't have that 12th man and is strictly based on talent and based on the quality of players you have, these mid-table clubs, they can say something to Arsenal. They can say something. Aston Villa can say something with the players there. Ollie Watkins can say something to to Lacazette.
Yes.
I never thought I'd say that Ollie Watkins can talk to Lacazette and be like, "Yo, man, I'm scoring the same amount of goals as you." You know. So
Yeah.
so we'll see. We'll see what happens to Arsenal. Is there any club that's really surprised you this season? Because I have one. I have a club that's really, blown me out the water with their results.
Yeah, there is actually a club for me that surprised me that I actually put almost at relegation position at the beginning of the season. West Ham. West Ham this season has, and they've been steady. Sometimes when a small team starts performing, it's based on either a player or either a run of form where they were just playing out of their skins. West Ham have actually looked strong. It's not about someone or something. Even when Mikel Antonio was injured, they were still playing good. Yarmolenko was injured, they were playing good. It's actually making me think about Man United and their treatment of David Moyes, because I remember David Moyes became like a Sam Allardyce. And watching West Ham, I thought to myself, why did that happen? Why did David? Because David Moyes was actually seen more of a Brendan Rodgers type when he was still in Everton. He was that very talented manager that's right in the cusp of success. And right now he's like his eyebrows are back. He's looking like he's smiling. He doesn't look like Gimli from Lord of the Rings anymore. Like he's looking energized and I'm liking what he's doing with West Ham. I'm liking what he's doing with West Ham. I've actually enjoyed watching them West Ham. So yeah, West Ham is probably going to be my team. West Ham is going to be my team that did something this
season. Same. Because when we were talking about predictions and the log at the end of the season, I thought West Ham were going to fight a relegation battle because of the season they had prior and the 2 seasons. And normally when it's 2 seasons, things go south after the 3rd or the 4th.
Yeah.
So Sharrots to David Moyes for turning that around. Also shout out to Jesse Lingard, probably the most improved player.
Yeah.
He's gunning for that most improved player alongside Luke Shaw, those United Academy boys. Who would you say your most improved player is? I know it's a question that's just off the cusp, but who would you say it is?
You mentioned Lingard, and you also mentioned Luke Shaw. I was going to point out Luke Shaw because I feel like he's looking like one of the best left backs in the Premier League right now. He's not just improved. He's looking like one of the best left backs in the Premier League right now as we speak. But I would actually, maybe this is not a most improved. Maybe this is more of like a player that looks like they could be a real one. People are talking about Foden a lot. People are talking about players like that. The more I watch Greenwood strike a ball, the more I watch Greenwood turn and strike. That's something I haven't seen. Last time I saw that type of striking was your Van Nistelrooys, your Berbatovs. When a player can just grab a ball and strike. There's a lot of playing nowadays. Look at someone like Rashford. Rashford wants to play in the box. I think it's because more players have gone towards playing like Aguero in Man City, where they don't just want to be strikers. They want to be forwards. This is a striker, as we know what a striker is. When I think about the Premier League strikers, I look at someone like who's the guy from Everton? Kurt,
Richarlison.
uh,
Calvin Lewin.
Calvin Lewin. I look at someone like
Yeah.
Calvin Lewin, and they always feel like they're missing something. Actually, a lot of strikers, Callum Wilson, like even someone like Harry Kane, they look clumsy on the ball. They don't look like dangerous strikers. In fact, I would say the last time there was a dangerous striker in the Premier League, it was like Douglas. It was who's the guy? Costa. Diego Costa in
Diego.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Diego Costa in Chelsea was the last striker I remember where I'm like, I am watching a striker. I'm watching someone when they're in the box, it's danger zones. It's only danger zones. And when this kid, Greenwood, is in that box, it's danger zones. He's striking the ball hard and accurate. And the goalkeeper will have to make a save. So I'm not gonna. It's not really most improved because he was showing this last season too, but it's like the player that has impressed me the most. Greenwood, and I think maybe Cavani is helping him out. It looks like him and Cavani have a good relationship, but I feel like the player that everyone thought Rashford is, this kid's gonna be. I feel like this kid's probably gonna be the best striker in the Premier League because he's showing me natural ability that no striker has shown me in a long time.
Hey man, I'll be shocked if you know the way he's playing right now. He's looking like he could close the gap of goals scored between him and players like Martial. You know, he's scoring goals, and if he scores just enough and he's on that 20 mark, you start looking at Martial and start thinking, what is this guy bringing to the table? Here's a youngster. Here's a youngster doing the things. I won't lie. I love Greenwood. You know, I don't like United, but I like Greenwood.
Me too.
There is something about him. You watch him and you think, oh, this man, his goals are wonder goals. You know, you look at the goals and you're like, oh, that's the type of goals I wish my striker was scoring. And, you know, unfortunately for us, I think he's going to be at United for a long time. I think they're going to lock him down for many years. And, you know, good for him. If he continues improving, it'll be nice to track his career. When Rashford was getting the praise, I remember, I'll never forget the day I watched Rashford debut when he scored 2 goals against Arsenal. I feel like it was Arsenal that made Rashford, you know, that debut. Because as good as Rashford is, he is a good player. He's not that exciting player we were promised. He's not that wonder kid where we thought this guy's going beyond places, because we were watching other players do what he's doing. You know, your Fodens. What Foden is doing, Foden's gonna deserve that name, Stockport Iniesta. You know, that's gonna be a name where it's like, yeah, that Foden is miles above players like Rashford. And then you think of all these, you think of Jadon Sancho, and you think to yourself, is Rashford really on these levels? Is he on the same level as Haaland? Is he on the same level as Mbappe and stuff? I think he's just a grade lower. He's a grade lower, and Greenwood is rising. You know, he's gonna meet up with these players or Haaland, no Sancho eventually if he continues playing the way he does. So I'm actually really excited to see what he brings to the Premier League next season. So last time we actually had a private conversation about player of the season. You know, we got 2 more games left. I think they should be announcing the player of the season, the young player of the season, top goal scorer, all those things. Who's your money on for player of the season this year?
You know, I remember when you talked privately, I said a name, and one of the other co-hosts were there, and y'all were like, hell no. I'm gonna stick with my pick. Liverpool fans, relax. Our season's coming next season, we'll be able to talk. Right now, I'm going to talk about a Man United player. I know Man City won the league, but if you think about it, they didn't win the league by much. So the United player I'm going to mention has not done that bad. Bruno Fernandes, bro. Bruno Fernandes. For me, and I understand, I get it. Man City won the league, yada yada yada, all of this, all of that. No player has been more important for the team than Bruno Fernandes this season. There's not a single player out there. I don't care what anyone tells you. There's not a player out there in the Premier League that's been more important for the team than Bruno Fernandes. He is Man United. Man United's future of anything is in that man's hands. He owns them right now. He could go. It's reminded me a bit of when Sanchez was killing it at Arsenal. It was like this guy's decisions are your decisions. This guy's decisions are your decisions. If Bruno decides to go to Real Madrid next season, bye-bye, Man United. Bye-bye. Go back to the Europa League spots of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Go back to being a whack-ass team that no one cares about. You're dead. There's no replacing Bruno Fernandes. There's not a single player in the Premier League you can say that. Maybe there's one, but maybe he's your pick. But Bruno Fernandes right now, if he leaves Man United, that's it. Man United ain't got it. They don't even have a chance at top 4. If I'm calling it. If he leaves, they don't have a shot at top 4. Leave number 2, number 3. Top 4.
Yeah.
No chance.
Alright. Before we bounce, before we close off, because battery's gonna die and all that, unfortunately. You know, if I were to pick a player of the season, you know, at first I wanted to say Ilkay Gundogan, but then I realized maybe his contributions were not Premier League based. Yes, he scored about 11 goals if I'm not mistaken, but a lot of his contributions were in the cup games, UEFA Champions League. You know, same goes for Mahrez. Their contributions are mixed in between competitions. So if I were to pick a stable City player, because I believe that player of the season should come from the team that won, right? And that the team of the season should primarily consist of those players. I'd go for KDB. You know, he's a safe vote, safe option, and he's got the numbers. You know, he's about to double digit in assists and goals. It's not his personal best season, but you know, when it comes to goal contributions, I mean the man single-handedly negotiated a 300 mil contract for himself just based off goal contributions. He didn't even need an agent. So I think that just goes to show how much value he brings to City. It may not be the same type of value that Bruno brings, because you know Man City can rely on other premium players like your Sterlings, your who's the short guy? His name slips.
Bernardo Silva.
Yes, Bernardo Silva. Talk about a quiet player this season. Bernardo Silva, your Mahrez's, your Aguero's. City have a squad of players, and any of those players could win Player of the Season in my opinion. But I'll go for the safe vote, KDB. I think he represents that midfield really well. He is the face of City in my opinion at the moment, so he would get my vote. And you know, young Player of the Season, it would have to be Phil Foden. I think City will just have to run away with the awards, and you just give Harry Kane or Salah the golden boots. You know, I think it's not gonna be a season for the books, but it's gonna be a season for City in any case. And that's all I got for today's episode, guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's about it. Moomish of the season goes to Kaizer Chiefs and Arsenal. Both the teams are a absolute travesty in football. They should be ashamed of themselves, both of them, for such legacy teams to have such dismal seasons. It's embarrassing. They are a stain in footballing as we know it. They have been embarrassing to watch, and I hope one of them gets punished badly. And I love Kaizer Chiefs, but I hope one of them gets punished badly. Gavin, I'm sorry, my guy, for everything that happened to you this season, but you got to go, bro. I heard Stuart Baxter is making some phone calls. Baxter, come back home, my guy. Anything is better than this bastard. Sucks. Obvious. Stuart, you'll be welcome home anytime. Yeah, that's it for me.
That's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching the Diski Den. It's been episode 8. We thank you for your support. Feel free to like, subscribe, click on the notification bell. You guys know how YouTube works. Do the things, do the right things. And once again, thanks for the support. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.